friends, and welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to do a little bit of an extra haul. So I have a whole bunch of new fountain pens and inks and an actual like mystery unboxing for fountain pen and ink from Truphae. So I thought that I would do this separate from my regular haul video. So that way, if you're a pen and ink lover, this video is most definitely for you. And if you're not and you would rather see the stickers and such, then that video will be coming out probably before this one. So I have quite a lot of inks here to swatch out, so I don't think I'll get them done by the end of the month, and the regular haul video is coming out on Halloween. So anyways, I have here several things to go through. So first of all, I ordered my daughter's Christmas presents, so I'm just going to show you those really quick. I'm also going to be swatching out her inks because I am going to take ink samples from all of those, and then we'll see how they match up to her pens because I was trying to match her inks to her pens. And then I also got two of these Clairefontaine Truphae, I don't know how you say it exactly, I'm probably butchering that, but I got two of these notebooks, one for me and one for her, so that she could start swatching out her own inks because she's getting a little collection of inks as well. So I got her one and me one, and this is going to be my new swatch book. So I've already kind of sectioned out the pages with pencil, just the first two pages, so that I can put down my inks, a little tiny writing sample in there, and then kind of move on to the next one. But I'm not exactly sure how I want to set it up. If I want to do color families, or if I just want to do what I have, if I want to do rainbow, I don't know, because I got this right here. And so I've got all of these also to swatch, and I kind of wanted to be able to show you. Also want to be able to write down in here where I get the inks. So if they came from the 2024 ink vent calendar from Diamine, then I'm going to need to denote that in here. So that way, if I give any special inks, or if it's just a sample or a full bottle or stuff like that, because I have a ton of inks. So anyways, I have this. And I got two new pens, two new Benus, I got 4 new Asvines. There's just a lot. There's a lot here to go through. So these notebooks, I read online from several different people that Clairefontaine paper is a really good paper for doing swatching. So we're going to test that out and see how that works. Now, I'll show you my new Benu pixie, because I got pixies for her and I got one for me. So I really wanted this Jolly Roger. My hands are already inky from actually re-inking. I've already gone through one whole cartridge of the Inky Bar Copy O ink, which is all over my fingers from refilling the cartridge. So the cartridge that comes with it, I just take it out, rinse it out, and then I fill it with the ink that I want, rather than getting the converter for this, because it's just as easy to do this as it is to put a converter in and out because the converters are so small. But I thought this was stinking adorable. Look at that. Like, look at how stinking fun that is. This is the Jolly Roger. And then I got it in fine. So there it is. It's already messy because I've been, like I said, I've already gone through a whole cartridge of this doing writing samples and using it in my notebook. So that is my Benu. Came in this cute little box. And then my daughter's pixies are right here. So these are what she is getting, what she got for Christmas. So you can see these. They're so pretty. These are just stunning. They are so pretty. And I got hers the same. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my goodness, that is so pretty. And I matched inks. So it's going to be quite the test to see if these inks match up well or not. So there is the purple one, and then this little pink one. Again, there this one has a silver. I think I got hers are all should be fine as well. So I think that's what I got. It'll say on the box. I'll look on the box. And then this one is kind of like the magenta color, which I thought was super pretty. What color is this? Gold. Yeah. So pretty. So anyways, because she has little tiny hands, I thought she would do really well with these pixies. So I'm going to put it back in the box so that I don't mess them up. And then we'll kind of swatch out her ink colors. Yeah, I did. I got hers were in fine as well. Magenta Madness is what these are called. So I think she's really going to love those. So I'm going to set these off to the side. And then when we swatch out these inks right here, we'll bring them back out and see. Then I got another Benu. So I got a pixie, and then I got a regular size one. So this one was a Goulet Pens exclusive because you know how much I love coffee. You know how much I love like browns and the coffee swirls and all that kind of stuff. So they have their exclusive pen with Benu is coffee. Ooh, so pretty. Every time this is the only second time I pulled it out since I got it, which was like literally yesterday. Yeah, so look at that. Look at that swirl on that. Oh, it's so good. So good. All the way up to the cream at the top. I love this. So this one, I think is also a fine. I pretty much just get fine nibs, and some of the fine nibs that I get seem to be more medium than fine, which is just, nope, actually this one is in a medium, so it'll be interesting. So this is iced caramel latte in a medium. Ooh, this is gonna be interesting. But I like having a couple of different types of nibs because I like using sometimes shimmer inks, sometimes the I don't have any chroma shading, but I'll bet you there's some chroma shading in here, which might be kind of fun to use in here. So if it's a shading ink, a glittery ink, any of those. Actually, I think there's a super, is it this one? Yeah, extreme sheen. So I think it'll be fun to use this size of a nib with colors like that, which is another reason why it's kind of important for me to write down all that information in my little book. So I know when I'm going to do my different, you know, ink up my different pens, I know exactly what I'm putting in them so that I don't mess up my pens, because a lot of these pens don't do all that well. And I'll show you, I'm keeping track of my pens as well. So in here is where I write down my pens, and I write down what the size of the pen is, and I write down any specific information. So this is my pen collection as of October. This was my pen collection as of September. It's a couple of places that I shop at. And then I will put my November pen collection here, which is basically just, a lot of this is me just rewriting. I didn't even put the Jinhaos over here. I just put lots of Jinhao pens. Actually ended up getting rid of a couple of them because they wouldn't write anymore. And then I have them like classified under, if they're under $50, they go under the low range pens. The mid range pens are 60 to 200. And then anything over 200 will get its own section, which I have none of that yet. So I don't know if I ever will. I'm not sure if I'll ever pull the trigger on something that expensive, but just so you know, that's how I keep track of my pens, because I'm starting to get quite the little pen collection. So we have some Irizuku, yep, I'm going to get this, Yamabudo. And this is a Pilot ink. Then we have Sailor Shikiori. And this one is the, oh boy. Oh, there it is. Sakura Mori. And then this one is the Ferris Wheel Press Gossiping Grapevine. So these pens, I thought, I mean, these inks I thought would go the best with her pens, but we'll see. We'll see when we swatch them out if she's going to be, I mean, she's going to love no matter what, because, you know, she just will. She picked out the pens for her birthday, but she didn't pick out the ink. That's something different. And then this is the 2024 Diamine ink vent, and the reason why I picked this up and why I'm showing it to you ready to go like this is because first of all, I need to swatch them. So I took all the plastic off of all the bottles so that I can swatch them out. But the 2024 Diamine ink vents are on sale at Goulet. So if you're interested in getting these inks, because you know a lot of these inks they didn't make into like full bottles of ink, this is the only way to get them. They were on sale. I think they're like 25% off on Goulet pens. So this is quite a lot of ink for the amount of money that I spent. I think they were $75 for this, marked down from like, I think they were $125 normally. So if you liked any of the inks from 2024 and you're not really feeling 2025, which I wasn't, like I didn't see a single ink vent spoiler video that made me say, oh, I really want that. So I did not buy any of the other ones, but I did really like a lot of the inks that are in here. So anyways, I have that to swatch, which I'm not going to make you sit through. I just wanted to show you that I had that. Then I got this. So for the Truphae, you can get either all ink or ink and pen. I think a $50 one, ink and pen $80 one. I think there's even one that's a little bit higher than that, but you have to subscribe for 3 months at a time. So I got the $80 one, which is an ink and pen, and I've already cut that box open. But I just feel like this is just kind of a fun. I did give up 2 other subscriptions to get this for 3 months and then see if I like it or not. But I thought this would be a fun way to try out new pens and new inks that I probably wouldn't normally pick out for myself. I really had a good time doing the Atlas Stationers one, so I really wanted to try it out with like a regular monthly subscription, and Atlas only has an ink subscription. They don't have the pen and ink. But you also can kind of tell them like what your favorite colors are and stuff like that. So hopefully they took that into consideration. So we have 1 ink and 1 pen. Ooh, orange. Ooh, nice. I don't have this one at all. So this is a Monteverdi. It's from the Core Ink collection, and this is the Mandarin Orange. So, ooh, super excited about that one. Look at that. And then that should be all that's in there. Put that down here. Let's see what pen we got. So we got that one to swatch out as well. What pen? Oh, a Diplomat. I've never even thought about getting a Diplomat pen. It's a nice box. Oh my gosh, it's a super strong box. Oh, it's brown. You know my obsession with brown inks and brown pens and anything with, oh, this is nice. Look at that. So this is the Diplomat. What pen is this? Hold on. A Viper. Ooh, this is a Diplomat Viper. I'm gonna have to go in online and check it out because I don't know anything about Diplomat pens. I've literally never even really looked at them, but I love this pattern. It's got this like, oh, it's so pretty. I mean, you can see it. I don't need to explain what it is. But look at that. It is super pretty. Let's see. Oh, nope, that's stiff. That's not working. Then it's not a twist. Oh, it's magnetic. Goodness. You know, I am obsessed with magnetic caps. I love that. And look at that. Look at that pen. That is so cool. I cannot wait to ink this up. Now I need to. I love that. What is in here? Whoop, yep, good. There's a converter in here. Cartridge. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually going to ink this up and play with it. I have to figure out which ink I want to put in. It's probably going to be one of these new ones from the ink vent. So anyways, whew, that is nice. I look really excited about this. So yeah, I love this. I love this pen. I love the ink. I'm very excited about it. So yeah, I'm kind of glad that I signed up for it. I think it's going to be a fun 3 months worth of boxes. So anyways, oh yeah, I got a couple more pens here to share with you. So I had to write on them what they were because once you remove the outer package and throw it away, which I didn't realize, the inner package has no markings on which kind of pen it is. So if you're not familiar with the Asvine pens and how they actually like do their different types of pens, P means piston. I don't know what the 20 means. So I have 2 piston pens, a 20 and a 30. I have a V means vacuum, so there's a V126 and then a vacuum V800. And then I did get my daughter, she got I think it was a C80, which was just like cartridge or converter or whatever type of a pen. And hers was a purple one. It was, I'm trying to think of this, I think it was called a Purple Ripple. And it was, yeah, no, it was a C80, that's right. And it was a really, really pretty purple pen. She already got it. I gave it to her on Saturday and she's already inked it up and loves, loves, loves it, which surprises me because these pens are kind of big. So let's go through them. So if you're not familiar with Asvine, it's, I think they're out of Korea and they make fountain pens that are really, really pretty. They seem to be all the rage. They're all over TikTok, all over YouTube, shorts. Everybody's talking about them. So I picked up a few different ones to kind of test them out because they are an inexpensive pen. And some of them are dupes, like the V126. So this is a vacuum filling pen, which I have no vac pens at all. So this will be my first one. And I'm kind of excited to kind of play around with it. But this one is a dupe of a pen that I will never own because I just don't have that kind of money. So because this is a dupe for the Pilot Custom 823. I thought this would be kind of fun to play with and not be super scared to use because I'm not paying that kind of money. But if you've ever seen if you're new to fountain pens or you're just getting started like I am, the Pilot Custom 823 is like a $500 pen. So you can get this one, I believe it was like $29 or $30 or something like that. I did get it with the fine nib. And then look at this, like, it's not like cheap at all. It is like a plastic. I'm not sure what it's made out of, like some kind of a resin, but look at that beautiful swirl on there. I hope you can see it pretty well, but this is a beautiful swirl. So like I said, this is the V126, and look at that. It looks like coffee. I will play with this later, but I am not going to attempt to fill a vac pen on with the camera rolling because I know I'm going to make a mess. I know I'm going to mess it up like really, really bad. So I don't want to do that. So the P30, this is a piston. This one I got a medium nib, and this one is a heavy pen. This is so heavy. So this is their retro brass pen, medium nib. It is heavy, heavy, heavy pen, but really, really cool. Like, look at that. It is so cool. Excuse the ink. You're going to see inky fingers for a while, but look at that. Is that not cool? I think the only thing that would have made this cooler is if this was a brass, like brass colored, or even black. Black probably would have gone better than silver, but still okay. And that is a medium nib. So I'm really excited to kind of play with this one. So this is a piston fill, which is just like your TWSBI. TWSBI is a piston fill. So if you're, yeah, it's nice and smooth. You just drop it in and then pull back just like on a TWSBI, and you got a big cartridge right here. Big space. All right, so there's that one. So that's the P30, and it's, like I said, that's a heavy sucker. And then we got the P20, another piston fill, and I couldn't pass this up. There was no way. Look at that. Look at that barrel. That beautiful orange swirl with the gold, and then it's got like this inlay pattern. Looks almost like an Aztec pattern around the outside. Look at how pretty this pen is. I had to have it. I couldn't like not with the orange and black. It reminds me of a tiger. And then this one has a fine nib on it, and the gold I think goes just fine with this pen. And then this is another piston fill, so just the same exact, and it's got a clear window right here so you can see what color ink you put in it. So you know I'm going to put orange, maybe even this one. We might put the mandarin in this one just to see, but you'll be able to see your ink color through that little clear window right there. So just keep that in mind that you might want to matchy match if you want to match match. These pens, the Asvine pens, are not expensive at all. They're like under $50 each. Now another vac filler. This is the V800. Comes with little tools. And then another beautiful pen, but big, huge. And I will put them side by side and show you really quickly what I mean by huge. So look at that. It is bigger. It's bigger than, this is like a huge cigar, like a cigar pen. It's beautiful, but it is way bigger than I imagined it to be. And this one is the V800. So it is a very, very large pen, but beautiful. Look at that silver cigar band around the cigar-shaped pen. And it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous swirl all the way through. You're going to be able to see your ink in there. So definitely want some type of a coffee looking ink. And look at the size of that nib. It's a fine nib, but this is the biggest nib I have in my collection. And this one is a number 8 nib. So this is much bigger. Most of them come with 6s, I think, but this is an 8. Look how fat that is. This is going to be so interesting to write with. And again, it is another... this one might be a problem because the piston is down already. So a vacuum. Oh wait, this is a vac filler, right? Didn't I say it was? Oh, it is. Yeah. So yeah. So this is another one of those ones that I'm not going to do online because I'm not going to make a mess and figure it out with y'all watching. I will do it on my own, but I was like, oh, why isn't that? It's not a piston, dummy. It's a vacuum. So anyway, this is a gorgeous, gorgeous pen that I'm really going to enjoy writing with, I think. So I will ink these up. We will test them out. I will do that when I come back. I'm going to swatch these inks out in my new book, try to figure that out as best I can, how I actually want to. And then I will come back and we will swatch out the new ones together. You don't need to see these because these have been swatched 100 times online. So if you want to see all of the inks from the 2024 already swatched out in front of you, there are so many videos, but I think my Dandelion Diaries is my favorite one to watch. She's actually the reason why I went looking for this. So if you want to see them actually swatched in real time, you could go watch one of her videos because, you know, she's got some pretty addicted, very addicted to her videos. Anyway, yeah, so I'm going to go do that and then I'll come back and we'll swatch these out and I'll have the pens all inked up so that we can play with them. Yeah, it's going to be good. Be right back. Okay, I have all of the inks swatched out except for the newest ones, which I also inked up the Monteverde because I had it open and I was on the orange page. So I inked that one up in here, but I'll show it to you when we get to it. But I still have my daughter's inks to put in here. I haven't done that yet. And I inked up all the pens. So that way we can take a look at them. I can do like a little writing sample to show you what's in each one of them. So the way that what I ended up doing is, first of all, let me show you the Clairefontaine. I started with the Clairefontaine book, but I even put a little like cover page on it, but I really didn't like the way the ink was laying down. I noticed that the Monteverde brown sugar, which I don't normally have a problem with, was feathering all over the place, and I didn't really like the way the shimmer and the shine was looking on this paper versus here. For some reason, the Hobonichi paper does much better, in my opinion, showing me the inks. Now for you it might be something completely different, which is totally fine, but for me it showed the inks a lot better on here than it did on here. So I might swatch out in here again. I might give it another shot once this is full, but I decided to go back to the Hobonichi. This is just a notebook. And one of the things about the notebook that I didn't like, it wasn't that I didn't like the paper, it's I don't like all the lines. So, but it's fine. It's fine. So this was my original swatch pages and I didn't like this. I wanted more information next to each one so that when I reference the inks, I know exactly where I got them and when I got them. So I even tried to put, like, in some instances, I put 2025 on here. So if you look at this, the way that I set it up, I'll just quickly kind of go over how each one of these is set up. It's the ink splotch on the side, where I got it. So this particular one is the espresso ink from Cloth and Paper, and it came from one of the 2025 subscription boxes. And then you'll kind of see as you look at each one of them, like here, this is the Diamine Ink Vent 2024 Nutmeg Shimmer ink, and it's just beautiful. I actually inked that one up already, so I'll show you a little writing sample with that. You've got the Winter Spice, like each one of these, and then I put, like, this is a calligraphy ink, so not a good ink to put in a pen. That is one that you want to just use a dip pen with, but it's beautiful. I mean, look at that. It's just absolutely gorgeous. And a lot of these inks, the reason why I'm kind of getting an ink collection, not all bottles, I'm going more for samples unless it's a one that I absolutely love, is because I want to start using them in my watercolor journal. So I am going to be using these inks for more than just pens. So these are all the browns. I've got a few, just a few browns here. And then each one of these paper clips denotes the next section of colors. So I left myself some pages. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8 boxes per page. So I leave the in between ones blank, so that I can tape the pages together. So that way there's no, you know how you get that messy page in between with all the bleed through and the ghosting and all that. So now you don't see that. So I put X's on the in-betweens, then I've got room for 2 more here. And then there's X's again in between these 2, and then room for 2 more. So I really do have a lot of space for browns, because you know I'm going to have a lot of brown inks. Then this is all I have for the black inks. And one of the things I wanted to show you was, look at this Diamine Good Tidings from the 2024 ink vent. So this is the big bottle that was right in the middle, and if you haven't seen it, it starts out black and then it's an extreme sheen, and the sheen is green. So it's a really cool ink, and I actually put that in the new Diplomat Viper. So I'll show you how it looks when you write with it, and it like changes right in front of your eyes. It's absolutely amazing. But this is the Twisby black, which is kind of like a brown black. It's really nice. But my favorite black that I use all the time in all of my pens, which for some reason it wicked out on the paper, I just think that the ink is behaving badly. I use that all the time. That's like my basic black that I use, because if I want like a dark, crisp black, I use the Avant-Garde from Cloth and Paper, but I'm more of a gray black or a brown black. And that is the gray black is the Monteverde Smoke Noir, and this is another one that goes down black and changes to gray right in front of your eyes. And then the brown black is the Twisby. So that is all of the blacks that I have. I don't have a lot because I'm really kind of enjoying the colors. Then these are the blues. So when we get into the blues, a lot of these are from the ink vent because I'm not a blue ink person. I don't really like blue, but look at this, Chilly Nights. Oh goodness, look at that thing. It is unbelievable. This one is another one that started out blue, but the extreme sheen on this is red. So the blue just gets overtaken by the red. It is a gorgeous color. And then there's a few more in here. Marley is in here, which is a standard ink, but I love, love, love all those different like shading properties that it comes out with. It's absolutely just unbelievable. And then here's another one of my favorites. This is actually inked up right now in one of my well, which pen is it in? I can look because I have my pens. I also keep currently inked right here for October. So this one right here is currently inked up in, oh my goodness, I didn't write it down. Wow. I don't know why I didn't write it down, but I didn't. So, but I can tell you what pen it's in, I think. It is in the Jinhao 82 Caribbean Sea. That is the one that this is currently in. And it is, first of all, that pen is really, really good. It's a really good pen and it writes beautifully. So there's the blues. And again, I have tons of space to put more blues if I want to. Here's the purpley pinks. Now, these kind of ended up being very interchangeable. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is putting all of her inks on this page, even though they're not all purple pinks. But look at this. The Diamine Cosmic Glow went down purple and turned pink, pinky purple. So I think this page will be a good one for her inks to go on. And I also swatched them out much bigger for her so that she could see them next to her pens. And I'll show you that as well next to her pens, but we'll swatch them out together. And then these are the pinks. So that Diamine Hope Pink is like, wow, in your face pink. I don't know what I would ever use that for, but I actually bought it for her because she was looking at pinks along with the Pink Sugar Beach, but she ended up going with the Mystique, which is this one, the Diamine Mystique. It has a gold shimmer to it, and that's the one that she has inked up in most of her pens. So that's my pink section. And then we get into the orange section, and look at what the Monteverde Mandarin Orange did. And I wrote with it with the pen that it's in. So this pen right here is the one that the Monteverde Mandarin Orange is in. And I have another little book over here that we can write with. But this pen right here is the P20. So this is in the Asvine P20. So this is the piston fill. And this one has the Monteverde Mandarin Orange. Oops, I did that. I lifted the pen. That wasn't the pen. But this is just absolutely gorgeous. And this is a fine nib, but look at how fat that ink is. And this ink is very wet. It's a super wet ink. So beautiful pen, beautiful ink next to it. And so this is the P20, and this is what it looks like fine. So if you're looking to buy any of the Asvine pens, you can see how thick that line is compared to other fine nibs. This is a very thick line. So that's a writing sample with that color right there because we've already swatched that out. But look at this. This is a scented ink, and it smells like generic fruit cocktail. Like they did a really good job making it smell like that, but once it's down on the paper and it dries, it doesn't smell anymore. So the only time you're going to smell any of the scented inks is when you're first using them, mostly swatching. I'm not even sure you would smell it when you were writing because it's such a small amount of ink coming out. But that's that one. Then we get into the reds. My favorite. This one is my favorite. I don't know which pen I'm going to use that in. I do have a red pen that is not inked up, and it is another Jinhao pen. I think I might have it right here in my pen drawer. Yeah, here it is. I think that these two are going to be beautiful together. So I think this is the pen that I'm going to put this in for the Christmas, for the winter market kit. I think this is going to be a good batch right here. But this is that Jinhao one that I was telling you about that has the blue, that kind of gray blue color. It's similar to this one, but I don't know if I have that one on my desk or if I have it in the drawer next to me. I'm not sure. So I did get one of those multi-drawer things where I'm keeping all the inks and pens. And yeah, I love being able to have it like right next to the desk when we're docking, because it makes it so much easier for me to pull stuff out and just have it right here. So that's that. And then the end is where the greens are. And this is another one where I don't have a ton of inks. My favorite is the Cloth and Paper Olive. That's one of my favorite colored inks. This is the Diamine Wishing Tree, and it's a chameleon ink, and it's really, really, look at this. Look at the noble fur. It's just absolutely ridiculous, like how much sheen is in there. And it's a silver. Oh, it's so pretty. This is called the Starbright Mint Twist, again from that same. This one's kind of hard to read when you write with it, but it makes a pretty swatch. So I'm wondering what I can do with that with the watercolor artwork. And then the Pine Needle, Chameleon Pine Needle, that's another beautiful green. That's a very Christmassy green to me. So that is all the greens. And that's as far as I've gotten in the book. I still have like a ton more to go. So I could start swatching things out later on in like color family. I mean, in like different, I don't know, like all of the Monteverdes, all of the Sailors, which I don't have a lot of. So let's go here and let's, two things. Oh, before I do that, let's do this. So in the Diplomat Viper, which I'm obsessed, absolutely obsessed. So this is the Diplomat Viper, and it's the quill pattern in brown. And this is a medium fine nib. And the ink is that Ink Vent Diamine. And I think it's called, hold on, I forgot what the heck it's called. Good Tidings, sorry. Good, oops, Tidings. And you can see it just once, so it goes down very, very black. As you can see, it goes down nice and dark, but then you can already start to see it. See that turning green? It's just like the craziest thing to me. I love how this is. But that is what the Diplomat Viper in a medium fine nib will go down as, which is pretty close to a fine Asvine. A little bit thinner of a line, but still, and it's a good writer. It is a very good writer. So that's this one. I'll put that one off to the side. Actually, I'm going to put him back in my little, so I know I did them already and they're not just sitting out. Now, the other pens that I'm going to show you, because I said I was going to ink sample everything, the Benu. So the Benu in Iced Caramel Latte, this is the Goulet Pens exclusive, and then this one also has a medium nib on it, so it's a little bit thicker of a line. This one I have the Coffee Break from Colorverse is what's in this one. So this one is a much thicker line. So this is Iced Caramel Coffee. And this ink is just unbelievable. So hopefully, let me just zoom you in while we're doing the samples so I don't have to keep picking it up. And then hopefully you can see okay. So it's got some beautiful shading to it where it really does look like iced caramel coffee. This is a really good ink for this. And this is the Colorverse Coffee Break ink. And then this is a medium nib. And this one I got, like I said, this is the Goulet Pens exclusive. So if you're looking for this pen, that's where you can find it. And I think they keep it in stock pretty much all the time. So it's not like it's going to go away, but yeah, that's that one. And then we have this heavy guy right here. This heavy guy. Look at this guy. Is so pretty. So pretty. And look at that ink inside. I want to show you the swirl. So I'm, again, not super great at filling these. I was having some trouble. But this one is the, I think it's the let me look. It's a P30, and this is the Retro Brass, and this one is in medium. So this is the piston fill, similar to the TWSBI, which I always have trouble with the TWSBI too. But look at that swirl. Oh, goodness gracious. That is just beautiful. Okay, so this one is Asvine. And this one is, this ink, even with this type of big old giant nib, this ink doesn't behave as well as I would like it to. As you can see, it's skipping a lot, and I'm pretty sure it's the ink and not the pen itself. So I don't know. But this one is a medium nib, so it should be behaving just fine. And this is from the Diamine ink vent. And this one is called, let me see, which one was this? Oh, this is the salted caramel. Salted caramel. And it's a beautiful ink, but it's a shimmer ink from the ink vent. So that's what that one looks like. And I love the weight of this in my hand. I do not think I would ever post, because I feel like it would be way too heavy if I posted it. But anyway, I think that's the ink, not necessarily the pen. Then we have the other, these two were the two piston filling ones, and I failed miserably. So I think there's something wrong with this one, because I tried to fill it like 100 times and I could barely get any ink in it. This one, I got the ink in it, you can see, but it's not it's not very much. There isn't very much ink in there, which I feel like with the piston fill, you should be able to get it to fill up almost to the top, and it's like barely right here. Like I barely got any ink in this. But this is the Asvine. Let me pull this up to where you can see. So this is the Asvine V126. And this one is, I'm calling them coffee swirl pens, because they don't actually, most of them don't have like a name. Coffee swirl pen. And this one has, what do I put in this one? This one, oh, this has nutmeg in it. This is the Diamine ink vent. Nutmeg. And this one is, I believe, a shimmer. Yeah, this one is a shimmer ink. And I probably should have written down what size nib this is. And it is fine. Okay, so there is the ink vent nutmeg shimmer ink in the V126. I'm actually curious if you could switch out these nibs with other pens that maybe have better nibs on them. I do think there's just enough in here to do a writing sample, but I'm gonna have to take it apart. It does come with a tool, but I'm gonna have to take it apart and see if maybe there's something's not working right, but I don't really know how to fix it. So this is the Asvine V800. So another vac fill. And then this one is a number 8 fine nib, so a big boy, a very big boy. And this one I have inked with the Inkybara Kopi C ink. So this is their little coffee line, exclusive with Dino Rights. So I just ordered this whole line. I ordered the big bottles of, and I had not inked this particular color up yet, so I wanted to ink it up in one of my pens, and this is how it looks. So it writes really good, but I can't get it to fill. It's like barely got any ink in it at all. So there's all the pens. I just wanted to swatch them out for you so that you could see what we did with all of the pens and how they look and how they write. And I know I'm a messy writer. These nibs are kind of big for me to do pretty writing. So now we can actually back you out just a little bit so we get the whole book in view, and we will swatch out the baby girls inks. So the first one is a Pilot ink, and this one is Yamabudo. I believe that's how you say it, and it's from their Iroshizuku line. I'm gonna get this. So how I swatch and write is with this little guy right here. I've got my cloth over here on the side. Got my little very stained There, I just throw some down, and then I immediately go to my water and try to clean it out as best I can. And then I take this end and I just do some pretty little swirls. I try to leave some spaces to give it a little bit of fun. Then we're gonna dip into this nice wide mouth. And then this is the Pilot. Yama, Budo, and this is from the Hero Shizuku line, and this is I'm going to put my daughter here, Ashley's ink. So I know if I do have a sample of it, but that way I know it's her ink, and that way if like my sample runs out, I know where I got it from, and I can just go get another one from her. Because this is a big bottle, a huge bottle. And I'll show you all three of these, but look at how big that bottle is. It's absolutely gigantic. I'll show you all three of those dry. I'm just going to show you how we're swatching them down. The Gossiping Grapevine, look at that shimmer. It is so pretty. I think she's probably, it's unfortunately a shimmery ink, which she seems to have trouble with the shimmer ink. So I'm hoping that the Benus will behave, because I did notice that the Benus don't always behave so well. At least not my Jolly Roger is not really behaving all that well with the inks that have some shimmer in it. So I don't know if that's because we got fine nibs and I need to go up on the Benu nib. I'm not sure. So the big Benu, the big pen, works perfectly. Like I have zero problems with it. So I don't know if it's just a property of the Pixie or what. But look at this. Look at this color. It's just, oh my goodness, unbelievable. Like unbelievable. Look at that. It is so pretty. And then once it dries, like I'll show you the dried one. As a matter of fact, I put way too much ink on there. Let me throw a paper in between before it soaks through like multiple pages. Ferris Wheel Press. And this is, I love their names. I don't know who comes up with the names of their inks, but Gossiping Grapevine, come on. I mean, it is so perfect. I love this ink. It is so pretty. So this one is another one of Ashley's inks. And I forgot to put a little heart on the other one, but since I made such a mess out of it, I'm just gonna leave it alone. I always put a little heart on all of them, and now it looks weird not having it on that one to me. And then this one comes with like a weird little cover cap that I can't pick up without becoming very purple. But I wanted to put it back the way it came. See, it comes with like this over the top. I'm trying not to get any more purpley than I already am. I have to go to physical therapy in like 20 minutes. So there's Gossiping Grapevine. And then the last one is a Sailor ink. And this is from the Shikiori line. And this one is called, it's on the box. She's going to have to make sure she writes it down. But this is the Sakura Mori. And yeah, it's beautiful. So we're almost done. I'm almost done. But I wanted to swatch these out in my book. And before I do that, let's throw down a paper, because this is a wet ink. All right. It's a very wet ink, which is probably going to be perfect for that Benu, because if it behaves, if it behaves the way my Pixie does, it's going to want to have thinner inks in it. So let me just do this really quick, because when I was doing all of the inks, I was very well set up. But now that I turn the camera on, I am failing miserably. I'm not set up properly. Okay, so there's that one. And then So this is the, I'm writing in a weird spot. I need to bring it down here a little bit. So this is the Sailor, and this is Sakura Mori, M-O-R-I. And this is from the, so they have a bunch of different lines. Like they have a basic line, they have the Shikiori line, they have a few different ones. So if you go looking on the Sailor, for the Sailor inks, a lot of them have already been discontinued. So it's kind of important for me anyways to write what line it's from. And then that way I can be able to hopefully go back and find something similar, especially since a lot of them get discontinued. But yeah, so there they are all swatched out, and I'm going to set that off to the side so it can dry, and I will bring in her pens. And the one that I did over here is I swatched them out over here so we can look at her pens and see if I did a somewhat decent job of matching her pens to the ink. So let's take this off. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there it is. So obviously the Gossiping Grapevine would go with the purple pen. The look at the sheening on this. It's just absolutely stunning. So I did not expect that at all with that one, but this is the Yamabudo and this is the Pilot. I wrote Sailor at first because I got confused about which one was which, but this is the Pilot, Yamabudo. And this one is for this pen right here, which I think it's a pretty good match. And then the Sailor, the Sakura Mori, is for this pen right here. So that's the inks that, that's the best I could do. I can't tell you how many of the ink swatching videos I watched trying to find the right inks for her that are still in production that would go with this pen. It was absolutely ridiculous. So I've probably logged more hours watching ink swatching videos than than anybody else ever, just to find 3 inks. That's how much, you know, that's how much I care about how happy she is for her Christmas. So anyway, that's all I have for you now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I didn't swatch out all of the inks with you, but hopefully I swatched out enough of them for you to see the process. And then if the way that I'm swatching them out gives you any ideas on how to swatch out your own inks, I hope that helps. This is how I used to swatch them out, and it just wasn't enough information. Even though I really loved being able to see this much ink and all the pattern and all that, I didn't like the fact that it didn't have the information that I needed. This is an old Hobonichi, by the way, which is how I found out that I really like it on Hobonichi paper, is because so far this is the only paper that I've been able to swatch stuff out on that actually like really looks good. The ink properties look, and I use a lot of paper that's similar to this, so it kind of looks the same in my writing. So anyways, thanks guys so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. If you have any comments, please leave them down below. Got any ink friends, ink pen friends, you could go ahead and hopefully share this video with them. And yeah, so hopefully you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.